Hello and a very warm welcome to another GMF Talk with me, Liz Show. Today I have the honor of speaking to American disability rights advocate Haben Girma. Haben, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Liz. Hello, everyone.
Haben, I want to first of all understand a little bit more about you and your life. You are deafblind, and I have to admit that I have never had the chance to interview somebody who is deafblind. So we're doing this interview on Zoom. I can see you, I can hear you. What about you? What technology is allowing you to be part of the conversation?
I'm not able to see or hear you. I'm getting your words through Braille, and I'll show you. So I have this little computer with Braille along the bottom. And as you speak, my typist is typing what you're saying. I'm reading it in Braille and responding by voice. So you might notice a delay between when you say something and when I respond. Part of inclusion is patience and meeting people where they are. Everyone does things differently, whether it's speaking or writing, all these different ways of being human. And we need to practice including all these different ways.
Absolutely. So I understand that not all deafblind individuals are the same. There's a broad spectrum. And I want you to give us some insights into what your condition is like, whether you're able to see a little bit, hear a little bit, and what it's like for other people.
I do have a little bit of vision and a little bit of hearing. When I say a little bit, I really mean a little bit. So functionally, I am deafblind because I miss so much visual information and auditory information. And there is this myth that a blind person is totally blind or a deaf person is totally deaf. That's almost never the case. For the most part, blind people have a little bit of vision, or deaf people can hear a little bit. The point with these labels, deaf, blind, is to alert people that we need information in alternative formats. So someone might need you to sign and use sign language. Someone might need you to convert printed materials into accessible digital formats. So if one can't see the screen, one might listen to the screen by having their computer read it out loud, or they might connect it to a Braille display and read it in Braille. So when I say I'm deafblind, that's a signal that the community around me needs to be accessible and provide information in tactile formats.
Now, before we dive deeper into the available technology, I want to talk about your daily life a little bit more. If someone just meets you on the street and wants to say, "Hi, Haben, how are you doing?" How do they do that? Do they have to use your device, or how does it work?
So sometimes I'm walking down the street and someone gets out their phone and they tweet on Twitter, "Haben, I just saw you on such and such street." Or someone will send me a text message saying, "I saw you earlier. We should meet up for coffee sometime." It's not my way to communicate with people while walking on the street. First of all, it's hard for me to hold my device while standing, while walking. So I need to be intentional about conversations. Let's meet at this time and get coffee, and I'll get my computer and we can talk. Or let's email, or let's have a text conversation. So we need to adjust and have conversations in formats that are accessible.
All right, since we're talking about accessibility, let's discuss news media. Tell me how you consume your news. What are your favorite outlets, and how do they have to be programmed so that a person like you is able to read or listen just the way other people do?
I like reading, and for the most part, news articles are readable and accessible. Most of them are just text, and the text part is readable and accessible. What happens is sometimes they'll have a video and they'll say, if you want to learn more, go watch the video. But the video doesn't have a transcript, and I'm excluded from that. And then deaf people who are sighted need captions so that they can see what's happening in the video. And blind people who are hearing need audio descriptions. Sometimes there are key visual details in videos, like there's a block of text on screen, but it's not read. So you can make those videos accessible by having audio description, which is a narration of the key details. So if there's text in the video, the narrator would read the text out loud. If there are key details like figures, charts, graphs, the narrator would read it out loud. So those are some of the ways we can make videos more accessible. Transcripts, captions, and audio descriptions.
So you've given us tools that are already being applied in many newsrooms, but do you think there's enough awareness among journalists? Because if I talk about myself here, I almost never think about how accessible is this article or this video or this audio to a deafblind person.
There isn't enough being done to make news accessible. The vast majority of videos still don't have transcripts, audio descriptions, or captions. That's still an ongoing struggle. And for articles, oftentimes the articles will come with images that don't have alt text, alternative text. So during the pandemic, there have been a lot of articles with charts and graphs showing the changes in the virus. And blind people also want to have access to that information. But for the most part, news media companies are not providing image descriptions or alternative text. So images, charts, photos, those need to have descriptions so that people who are blind know the information there.
Haben, I already mentioned that you are an advocate. You are the first deafblind person to graduate from Harvard Law. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Why did you want to become a lawyer?
I wanted to address the problems in our society, and law is a tool for addressing those problems. So building up my skills as a lawyer would help me advocate for disabled people in the United States and around the world.
And finally, Haben, you say you see disability as an opportunity for innovation. How have you used that opportunity in your personal life?
So the Braille system I'm using, I can use it in loud, noisy situations like loud bars. And hearing people have to shout so loud to be heard in loud and noisy bars. But if they're talking to me, they can give their voice a rest and just type what they're saying. That is an example of how a disability innovation is an asset to the other people, to the non-disabled people around them. My friends like being able to stop using their voice and just type when they're in very loud situations.
Haben Girma, thank you very, very much for joining us today, and thank you for watching. If you want to see more of the GMF talks we have conducted over the last weeks and months, be sure to check out our YouTube channel and also subscribe if you haven't done so. My name is Liz Cho. See you next time.